Hey, what is going on YouTube? It is Blue. We have found our way into the tier maker, just like every other YouTuber that exists. I do want to say this is not going to be a tier maker. That's basically me going over every single spec and whatnot. Um, Basically, this is something I do every single expansion. I get really excited about Mythic Plus, and I'm like, oh man, this would be so cool. I can't wait to do Mythic in Plus. And for whatever reason, I just put together like, what is going to be the dream team? Like, I'm a Feral Druid player. What do I need to make this the dream team, right? Now the thing is, you're going to be like, well, you just put the best specs in it, right? And that's sort of true. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go quickly over my thoughts of some things that maybe you may not have considered. And these are my thoughts specifically on playing Dragonflight Beta. So let's talk about it first. We'll go ahead and put the tanks right here. We'll put melee DPS right here. So the first thing, so we want buffs, right? So we want buffs. We can get buffs, a specific way. We'll put the healers right here, and we'll just say news range, right? What are the buffs are we getting? We need our warrior buffs, right? Tank, we need one more warrior. All right. So these are all the buffs that are pretty good. Demon Hunter not for us, really. We don't really care too much about us, but maybe our healer is going to care about this. So for me, this really is simple. Okay, first off is let's take a look at the monk buffs. These affect us specifically, right? Of these three, Mistweaver's not performing really well, right? I really enjoy playing Mistweaver. The reason I enjoy playing it is I think it's more of a challenging healer to do. Now, as far as like wanting to push content and be super successful, um, you want a healer that's going to be able to do it a lot easier without being challenged as much because it's difficult. And to be honest, playing Mistweaver in Dragonflight, there are some Mythic Plus dungeons that Mistweaver is going to have a lot harder of a time to do than these other healers. All right, they need to be on the boss specifically all the time to get those heals consistently, and sometimes they're not going to really have that capability of doing that. They're going to be having to move away from the boss. Everybody's going to be spreading out, and they're going to struggle with that environment. So unfortunately for me, I'm not really considering Mistweaver, and then also Windwalker is just doing so good that it makes me not want to take Brewmaster, right? So on my team, I really want a Windwalker. Okay. Now let's talk about Demon Hunter. All right, Demon Hunter is performing exceptionally well. Demon Hunter DPS, right? Now the thing is, you guys may not be, you may not understand where I'm coming from this, but maybe you will once you start playing Dragonflight and you start pushing the higher keys. But with my experience with Dragonflight, the affix, the plus 15 affix is obviously everybody's going to get a buff, right? You're going to get either a white buff or blue buff. It's a huge damage buff, and then if you don't attach these two, those two opposite colors at a time, you're going to be stunned, right? And you have a certain period of time that they last on you. These buffs are huge. Um, excuse me. Once you get into these high keys, sometimes you may stall. I can see it. I can see you stalling your DPS for that affix to happen, right? Especially Feral. Feral, we can burst really quickly. We can go berserk. Um, we can convoke. We can get a whole bunch of bites off single target at one point. We can burst really hard on single target. AOE, the AOE rotation's pretty good all around. Um, Not a ton of burst AOE, but consistent AOE. But anyways, you're going to be relying on that buff. Now the thing about Demon Hunter, and I hate this. I'm not a fan of Demon Hunter, right? And it's so weird because moving into Dragonflight, I'm less of a fan. I remember doing dungeons with Demon Hunter with the Quaking affix, and it sucks, dude. Whenever you're in melee with this Demon Hunter, it's like, bro, Where are you going? And this demon hunter doesn't even know where he's going, you know? And it's like, bro, it's quaking. Like, can you just stop charging through the freaking pack? And then just like, I'm trying to avoid you, and you seem like you're trying to find me, right? Um, so maybe you don't understand what I'm talking about, but I will guarantee you, a, any melee that plays this game, any one of these melee down here, is not going to want to play with the demon hunter because they're just unpredictable. I don't understand how a blind character can just be moving consistently nonstop. But it's really annoying as a melee player when you just instantly have this buff fall off because your demon hunter just zoomed past you doing whatever the hell he's doing. So for me, I don't want to play with the demon hunter, right? It's not fun. It's just a waste. It's a loss of damage for no reason other than they choose to play like that, or that's how they play. I don't know, but it's annoying, right? Let's talk about Warrior. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and keep this guy up here because it's a good tank. It provides a good debuff. So the same thing with Warrior. It's unfortunately, Fury is just outperforming Arms. So we're going to put that down here. Now, because of what I talked about with Demon Hunter, I've also kind of made up my mind. And for me, I only want three people in melee. So for me, unfortunately, that looks like Warrior right there, Prot Warrior. I'm going to go ahead and just dumpster some of these. We're going to put these up here. Unholy is performing better. Bear is actually doing really, really good. And honestly, this is a really good option right here to put Bear tank in here. Bear's doing really good damage. But then also it's really nice to have a second B-res. As a Pharaoh, you got to be really on top of your game, not only for survivability, but like paying attention as well when people die. So you can get that B-res off. Unfortunately for us, when we B-res, we're out of form, whereas Guardian, they can just do it pretty quickly, right? Same thing with Resto Druid. We'll put Resto Druid right down here. All right. I believe BM is performing the best out of all of its specs. I don't really know mages very well, but that is very good. We don't really want a melee healer. If I do, I will take Resto Druid, but I don't want somebody continually in there. I believe this healer is performing better than Disc. This is more single target, where this is the AoE. That's Lust, not bad at all. Unfortunately, Shaman needs some love, but that would be a really good healer also to put apart here, because this is a Lust healer. This is also kind of an AoE healer, so he can heal these individuals probably pretty consistently because we're probably going to be stacked a lot. And then he's just got to worries about himself, and maybe I would like another range. But unfortunately, Resto's not doing so great. And then I believe it's either Destruction or Demonology. So basically, this is mine right here that I want. If you guys want another melee, it very much look like that, or look like that. I think these are both really good takes. This is a second B-res, which we're talking about is really valuable. This is a lot of utility. Or it could even look like this. Really great interrupts, right? Super great interrupts. Which is brings a lot of utility. Really, really handy actually in dungeons. And then we still get this. But again, unfortunately, I want a range, right? So I'm kind of thinking right now of the ranges. It's going to be kind of weird. I do think Evoker is really good, but it is a brand new spec. And how many people are going to be playing Evoker and doing it, pulling it off really well, even though the stats and whatnot, they might not have the stats down, they might not have the build down. It's pretty tough. And same with, I value the Healer Evoker is actually really good as well. So I value those pretty strongly. And then this would free me up instead of going DPS Evoker to going any one of these. Maybe a Demon Hunter, or not a Demon Hunter, a Warlock. So those are kind of the things that I'm thinking about. Probably that looks good because now I have a second B-res in that. But let me know what you guys think if this is something you think about. For me, obviously these are a little bit more difficult, but this is the go-to right now for me, and then we just kind of fill. But that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Take it easy, everybody. Have a wonderful night.